Welcome
to Shamba Shape Up Uganda.
We are traveling all over Uganda to find hardworking farmers.
We want to celebrate them while giving them the knowledge they need
to make their farms more productive and adapt to climate change.
We want to support them to get better yields and increase their income.
We will see how farmers can benefit from our experts' advice and turn their farms around into a profitable business,
while learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experience
on the Shamba Shape Up Uganda.
Put it up.
Andrew. Hello.
Andrew, wait up. Where are you going?
I'm going to Hussein's farm.
The same guy we're going to.
Hussein is a coffee farmer.
How do you know him?
I trained him.
Hey, you train everyone, Andrew.
Yes, I keep training farmers as a passion and a profession.
And you're making money.
That's what I do. It's my passion. Yes.
We are with Andrew Magombe, our coffee expert from Cafe Africa. We are visiting Hussein Buyiima and his family in Walukoto village in Mayuge district.
In 1972, Hussein's parents moved to this village when he was only 4 years old. They started off with barely an acre, and this place was covered in forests.
We slashed the forest, planted crops for eating, but on the both sides, it was still a forest. So monkeys were disturbing us. Then we came up with planting coffee. Of course, the monkeys cannot eat coffee.
Today, at 54, Hussein looks after his father's land and his own land of more than 20 acres.
He grows many crops: passion fruits, maize, avocados, you name it.
But coffee still remains the mainstay of this family.
Hussein and his wife Hajira's 13 children help their parents when they're on a school break. Especially 18-year-old Najib, who wants to become a journalist, but still follows his father like a shadow.
You can't say that a little monkey can follow a leopard. Of course, it must follow a monkey, okay? Maybe blood. He has got agriculture blood.
The whole of my study, me growing up to this stage, it was due to agriculture that my dad was practicing. So being a journalist, it means that the knowledge I'm getting here, I can refer it to my brothers.
Hussein started harvesting his coffee 4 months ago, and it's still ongoing. Let's see if he's doing okay. I'm sure Andrew has a lot of questions. He's trained him after all, but I'll leave them to it.
From where?
I am here.
We brought him.
I am here.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so Hussein,
Hello.
how is this thing?
It's okay.
I'm going to leave you with Frobisha and Andrew, and you're in good hands, don't have to worry. Frobisha,
Okay.
are you listening?
Yes, teacher. Finally, she's gone.
Coffee to
Okay, let's see. Last harvest, Hussein got 3,500 kilograms of coffee from 3,200 trees planted on 7 acres. Whoa, that sounds good to me.
At first, he was excited by the 3,500 kilograms volumes. But if you go to part 3 now, and the potential, under good management, each tree is about to give at least 4 kilograms.
Exactly.
But here you are getting 1 kilogram. So this means you have a yield gap that you are losing of 3 kilograms per tree. You can see the loss. That's about 6,000 something kilograms
Exactly.
of loss.
Yeah.
I've just seen something. Hussein is harvesting, but look at these ones on the ground.
Oh,
Now,
he's losing.
That's also yield loss. To prevent this, you need to get a taplin. So Mr. Karis, can you bring us a taplin, please? So before starting to harvest, you need to put a taplin down under the tree. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So now this ensures that as you do your harvesting,
Okay.
whatever berries would have fallen down on the ground,
Okay.
it is easier to gather them, okay?
Okay.
And there you are saving on the yield.
Thank you very much.
So secondly, you also prevent contamination with the soil, because you might be tempted to pick these ones, and yet you are contaminating it with the soil.
With the ones that are healthy.
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's see, how are you harvesting? Let me see how do you do the harvest.
Now the harvesting is done that we pick the red ripe cherries.
Okay.
And in order to mess about, we pick one by one.
I like this aspect of picking. What many farmers do as a mistake, they strip. And when you strip, you are reducing the productive capacity of the branch for the next season. And when it's your own garden, don't struggle like a thief. These thieves will come to strip because they are not sure, they are running away. Yeah?
Okay.
It's just panicking you. So take time, okay? Do the picking. And it's simple, just like you are counting money, no? Pick like counting money.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what. But when I look here, I am seeing some green ones.
Okay.
What's that?
Maybe it is a slip of the hand.
Maybe they'll ripen.
Yeah. Not exactly.
And listen, we want red ripe because they produce good quality coffee. But when you harvest the immature ones, the ones which are not very ready, now this will produce poor quality coffee. For example, when you mill this, you get, I have a sample here, you get black bean, more of the black bean, which reduces the quality. But when you use the red ripe, you produce this kind of sound bean. This is the sound bean, the desired bean. So if you are to aim at this and fetch better money, pick the red ripe cherries.
Okay.
Those that are not yet ripe, leave them on.
Okay.
After you have harvested your coffee, ensure that you pick out any sticks and foreign matter that may have dropped here, and dry the coffee immediately. If you have to store, don't go beyond a day. Start drying either on your tarpaulin, concrete floor, or raised rack.
Najib, I can see you're very quiet down there. What are the challenges you've faced with your father?
Our fellow farmers, they're not doing well. That for us, we are harvesting well. I pick the red ones. For them, they are picking even the green.
Okay.
Which means when they take their coffee at the factories, and we also take ours, the prices are the same.
When they try to do the good harvesting,
Exactly.
other farmers are doing the poor harvesting methods.
Yes.
But in the end, at the buying facility, the same coffee ends at the same place, mixed up with the same price. The solution is that you need to get organized as farmers who are doing good quality coffee. And by the way, even the middleman who comes to buy from you, if he detects that your coffee is good, he will give you a different price. He will even want to deal with you before other middlemen come. So take care of that. Know the quality of your coffee, understand the price, know the dynamics of the middlemen, then you have a voice.
When we dry our coffee, we take it to the processing mill.
Okay.
You'll find there the price. When you take there the coffee, they reduce the kilograms. We are slashing away about 7.
And do you know
7
why?
for what?
Of your coffee?
Of your coffee.
Okay, that's
So
important.
that's a bad thing. And you are just cheated in that way.
If they mill and they see more of the black bean, if you have more of the black bean in your coffee sample, we'll get a lower price.
Exactly.
And the farmer will go back saying, I've been cheated. Okay? Yet the one who caused the cheating was who?
The farm.
The farmer himself. Quality will always fetch good prices. And for coffee, one is the moisture content, very important. If you dry your coffee to a moisture content of between 11% to 13%, you'll get a better price. That's the recommended whatever. But if your coffee is more than 13%, this buyer who is buying will be buying water. That's why he cuts the price.
Exactly.
Because he's not supposed to buy water.
Exactly.
This is for Chiboko coffee.
Yes.
You pick your coffee and shake. If you hear that rattling sound, that's an indicator that it has dried to the right moisture content. The second method is you get one berry, then you bite. When your tooth goes through, cracks it at once through.
Oh, okay. I thought when the tooth goes.
No. Okay, then the third method is get this. You just get your sekatua here and cut through. If it is dry, it goes through easily. Now, there is a way you can get the price while you are on your farm.
Okay,
So you just get your phone, type Robusta, send like you're sending an SMS to 7197. Tell us what is coming. You see a return message.
Hey.
And it is much cheaper than the transport you'd have put in
Okay.
to go to Mayuge.
Then I'm cut short. Andrew said we should start practicing collective marketing and then searching for market on our phone. Those two ideas are so good. In fact, he added value to my coffee.
Now let's look at the maize. Goodness, this garden is in total ruins. Hussein is an experienced farmer. He planted in January, thinking the rains will follow soon. He did all the right things like plowing, fertilizing, even at a great cost. But he only got 150 kilograms from this acre. He suspects the seeds he used were not certified. And then?
Drought came in February, in March. We could not receive any rain, not until end of March. The problem with drought is that when it attacks our sandy soils, the soil loses water in almost 3 days or 4 days. So if it loses water in only 3 days or a week, how about for months?
Richard.
The farmer expected a lot from it, but eventually he lost the morale even. So that's when we advise farmers to use drought-resistant varieties. This one, Long-10 H. For it, it is drought-resistant.
Long-10 H.
Yes.
Longe. Have you seen this before, Hussein?
Of course,
You have?
yeah.
Really?
But I could not imagine it can resist a drought. How many kilograms do I plant in an acre?
It is supposed to be 10 kilograms.
If you plant this Long-10 at a proper time, how much am I expected to get? Or how many kilograms?
If you do follow the proper agronomic practices, in an acre, you are supposed to get 30 bags.
Of 50 or 100?
Of
100.
Is it?
Sincerely speaking.
Can't imagine.
Yes. But here I said if you follow the proper agronomic practices.
What are the proper agronomic practices?
Okay, Najib. First make sure to get genuine certified seeds. Then do the first and second plowing, preferably before the onset of rains.
So it is advisable to, within January, you do your first plowing. And then you wait a bit. The second plowing, we do it probably at the end of January or February. So rain comes, immediately you start off. And then also, spacing is very vital.
At what spacing?
75 centimeter by 60 when you are using 2 seeds per hole. And if you're not using that one, you use 75 by 30. You use 1 seeds per hole. The expectation is the same. So they are similar, but the way it will come up will be different. Because this one will come alone. And of course, there will be no competition at all. So to a serious farmer, they are now resorted to use one seed. And then we do it along the line, in a straight line. And then another thing, we do weeding early, because these weeds, they become competent. So we do first weeding and then second weeding. Then you wait.
But I wish again to replant here.
Yes.
The next season. What should I do with these the remains? Because I'm even fearing the garden itself because of the loss I incurred.
For the coming season, you do crop rotation. In crop rotation, you can either plant beans or soya beans or nuts. They can as well bring back the soil again. So next time, by the time you arrange again for your maize, I think the soil will be very fertile.
We have introduced the drought-resistant maize to Hussein, but he has even a bigger problem, the fall armyworm. That we will deal with after the break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
But Aggie, he's a man.
Also too bushy.
It's only coffee.
I have a feeling someone is following us from bushy.
Nobody could be following.
Something has just passed.
Passed where?
You.
There's nobody. Aggie, wait!
We are in Walukoto village in Mayuge district, and we are visiting Hussein Buyiima and his very supportive family on their farm.
We've focused on how to harvest his coffee and how he can deal with the market.
We've also seen which variety of maize is best in these unpredictable weather patterns. We are going to continue with his maize and see what can be done against a dreaded pest, the fall armyworm.
And finally, we'll see how to rid his passion fruits of pests and diseases.
Did I just imagine that? Because I can swear that I saw something. In fact, I had something.
That is just your imagination. We're in a farm.
Frog.
That is just a hen.
Which hen?
You always think of things absurd. Now what if we go to the North Pole?
Hen.
Our farmer is really not very lucky with his maize. First, it was the drought, and now it's the fall armyworm that's laying waste to his newly planted 2 acres. But maybe our expert, Dr. Moses Kaira from NARO, the National Agricultural Research Organization, can help him out.
Fall armyworm was first reported in South America in 2016. By 2017, it had covered the whole of this country.
Wow.
The larvae feed on over 80 different crops, but maize, sorghum are the biggest crops that are preferred. It causes almost 100% damage if not controlled. The damage starts when the plant is almost 15 centimeters high. The larva eats the lower part of the leaf, causing that kind of damage. Farmers have had a challenge, and the option they've had is to spray.
Now this garden is quite costly. I always spray 3 or 2 bottles at once, and I have got to spray 3 times before I reach to the
harvest time.
harvest time. And in it, I should add NPK, foliar, because as you spray that one, you should spray also the fertilizers. Now I have been using socket up.
Yeah, this is a common pyrethroid that controls the pest. But it is very expensive. Being a chemical product, it has a lot of hazardous effects on the environment. There is, however, a new technology called push and pull. It's not new, but newly introduced here, which we can use to control the fall armyworm. We plant a susceptible crop around the garden, like a napier grass. And when the moths come to lay eggs, they will lay the eggs in the napier. If some of them come into the field, they are repelled by the desmodium. So they will go back to the napier grass. In that way, your crop is protected. Pull by the napier, push by the desmodium. Yeah, we plant cuttings of napier grass at a spacing of 30 centimeters. So the first node must be in the soil, and the leaves will sprout from the upper nodes. Napier is a perennial crop. It can last for as many years as you want. You can cut it even for livestock. Even this is feed for livestock. That is another advantage. So you can plant it around as a perimeter, at a spacing of 1 foot, 30 centimeters from one plant to the other. Then that is the pull. The push, we plant desmodium. So you also plant at a spacing of 1 foot, like the napier, in between the maize rows. The desmodium, being legumes, they add nitrogen to the soil and good for the maize. You will actually reduce the quantity of fertilizers you apply on maize.
I shall try with 1.5 acres with the pull and push method. The other method I'm going to do, I'm going just to spray 1.5 acres. From there, I shall see which method works the best.
Aha! In true farmer mode, Hussein will first adopt the tried and tested method.
Hussein has planted passion fruit on 1.5 acres. It's all very good, but you can't even walk in this place. You have to bend in half.
No. Hussein. Why did you have to plant passion fruits?
Passion fruits are good.
No, couldn't you think of any other plant? Do we have to be walking like this all through the farm?
Passion fruits are good.
Hussein.
Passion fruits were good for the past 8 months at least. Hussein used to get 60 kilos a week and good money from this orchard. But then pests and diseases hit and all the money went away, so he's really worried. But our expert from Narrow, Alex Mayamba, has identified some of the problems and he might have solutions.
Alex, yes. You've been walking around, bending around the plantation. What did you notice?
I noticed there is a serious spread of mealybugs. This is a new invasion in the country. It's the most widespread pest in here.
Okay.
And if you touch the plants here,
yes,
you can see there are a lot of white flies that have come in. And this is because of this. This is quite hard. It's not an insect, so most of these insecticides on the market will not work. So you're going to look for an insecticide which is systemic, which goes into the system of the plant. So you're going to buy what is called imidacloprid. It will be like 20 mils, 20 liters of water. Yes.
Imidacloprid is the active ingredient in the pesticide. Just know that there are many chemicals on the market with different trade names, so make sure to look for those with that ingredient.
But as you're applying that, you're also going to add in some kind of oil because it can also block the aeration system of the insect.
Alex is right. You can use any white oil and you put 50 milliliters of it in 20 liters of water.
We are moving in a good
Maybe
direction.
the other thing I can put in, a natural remedy.
Yes.
There is a remedy called egg yolk mixture. You get 1 yolk. Just pull out the egg yolk, then you stir it very well. You put cooking oil, 20 mils in 20 liters of water. It will work on the mealybugs. So if you can use that because it's a bit cheap,
yes,
you can control that. The few which are there, they can suffocate, then they die off.
Mealybugs affect the plant growth, especially when they attack new shoots, so better get rid of them as soon as possible. But there's even worse in Hussein's orchard, a fungal disease that's fatal to passion fruits.
Actually, this is a collar rot disease. The whole branch is drying. You see the fruits are actually shivering, so they are not going to grow anymore. So that's the only solution is going to do is to cut this up down. So once it is affected, that means it can't transport water upwards. So that's why you see they are starting to dry.
Okay.
But then, when you identify the problem when it's still early enough, you can get something small, like here. You try to wound this plant. You create a small wound where you're going to apply the fungicide. But when you're buying a fungicide, you have to be very careful.
Yes.
You need to get a systemic fungicide. I want to recommend rhodazine, which is very effective on this. So you go on every stand or stool, then you just wound around, you try to smear around.
Just smearing?
Yes.
Okay.
Like on a weekly basis, because you're not using a lot of chemical. Then that's enough.
And last but not least, Alex has got a great solution for Hussein's sandy soils and thirsty passion fruits.
We can use the drip irrigation, but a locally innovated way. It can save you that drudgery of carrying water and pouring on every plant. Just put a small water bottle where you will be feeding, but the plant just gets water like a drip. So the whole day the plant will be getting water, the area will be moistened, so the plant will be able to survive even in the drought periods.
Hussein is full of hope again. Alex has given him useful and easy to practice advice for his passion fruits. Now he can even think of future projects.
After that passion fruit, I have got a plan of planting trees because the environment is changing. If we plant at least 2 acres or 3 acres of eucalyptus, you would have served a lot. But trees are being cut day and night. So if I plant trees, I will earn money, and again the environment will be what? Saved. So my future is quite bright. I know where I'm going.
Beautiful day today.
Yes, a
such
good
a nice
farm.
farm. Have you
Yes.
covered everything?
Yes, I think we did. Coffee, passion fruits,
Yes.
maize.
Rabbits?
No, not rabbits. It was the other farm.
Sorry, let's go and say back.
Yes.
Oh!
Yes. This has been nice. It's been awesome, guys. We wish you the very, very best.
We also wish
and
you
we
the
hope to
best.
see you again very, very soon.
Thank you.
Bye bye to you. Bye. Shamba.